Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Call Us Casters Penshaw. In our last episode, our group of new monster and or alien hunters found themselves deep in the burrows of a very large brood of scorpions, barely escaping by the skin of their teeth for some, others having some real badass moments. But now we get into the real nitty-gritty of monster hunting. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are talking about, what do you guys do when you're not working? What's everybody doing today? It's been a couple of weeks since your last incursion dealing with these silver-skinned creatures. What's everybody up to?
I feel like Lenny just kind of wanders town listening to music, going to like old train tracks, abandoned buildings, visiting old man Fremer, just hanging out, being a weird kid, that kind of thing.
Lenny, where are you right now? What you doing?
I am at the old train tracks. They don't work anymore. Like no trains go through it. There's no station anymore. So they're just really overgrown and there are a couple of train cars, and every once in a while you'll see a coyote or something sniffing around. But that's where Lenny is, just kind of hanging out, walking the tracks, maybe hanging out in some abandoned cars, that kind of thing.
Lenny, you're making your way in and out of these cars, down the tracks, doing your usual walkabout. The graffiti tagged carts are now rusting over, basically just a relic of the past of when these train tracks would work. Through your headphones, you can hear the occasional shk 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 shk. Sounds like something shaking in a pan.
Can I tell where it's coming from?
Yeah, you're coming up towards a bridge in the tracks. Once again, old, dilapidated, just falling apart. You can hear it coming from below the bridge.
Okay, I will head directly there. I did experience something very traumatic recently, but it's not really fazing me. I'm good.
Making your way down a steep dirt trail next to the bridge, you see a very recognizable man sitting at the edge of a small stream. He's got a little pan, a cowboy hat, overalls top undone with like a ripped up shirt, and his boots laced very tight. I think today's the day we're gonna hit the mother lode, boys. We're finally gonna get out of this town.
Without saying anything, Lenny's gonna take their shoes off and just kind of like put their feet in the nasty stream, like not really caring. And when they sit down, hey, Mr. Fremer, find anything good?
Fremer turns and looks at you. Well, if it isn't my favorite claim jumper, how you doing, Lenny? Not too much today, but we're still working. Long day ahead of us, still a lot of sunshine and a lot of ground to cover. What you up to, Lenny?
Just hanging out. I thought maybe, I could help you a little bit, try to find some stuff. I mean, I'm good in this town, but like if you want to get out, I can help you.
You're not gonna sneak away with any of our bounty, our treasure?
Nah.
All right then, grab a pan, kid. Says he tosses you a little pan for sifting through the rocks and soil of the riverbed.
I go like a little bit away, like you said, there's a lot of ground to cover. I go through and I start doing it, and I know nothing's going to be found, right? Like nothing's going to be found, but I keep doing it. And every once in a while I'll like quote unquote find some change, $5 in a plastic bag, like basically finding some stuff to give to him eventually.
Haven't seen you around in a while, Lenny. What you been up to, man? What you doing?
Oh, I fought aliens.
Is that what you kids are calling it now when you go sneak around these parts and smoke devil lettuce?
No. Aliens. Like real aliens.
Lenny, if you weren't cut from the Penshaw cloth, I don't know who is. You amaze me every time we talk. You keep me young with your stories.
Yeah, I almost died. It was okay.
Okay, yeah. I mean, you kids running around getting into trouble, almost dying. I remember back in my youth. Ooh, we're dodging the draft, having a great old time. Heading out to the streams, driving around in trucks, riding around in the bed, crashing into every street sign, knocking over mailboxes, and you know what? You know what? Some of the people around town didn't really appreciate that, and I caught this little wound right here, he says as he exposes his shoulder. And you can see what is very much a bullet still lodged in his shoulder.
Oh, okay.
Does it hurt?
Only when you touch it. Don't touch it, please. It's excruciating. I have not regained full movement. I can only raise my arm about yay high.
You know, someone could probably like get that out for you.
Nah, it reminds me I'm mortal, Lenny. Being a living legend is hard. I gotta remind myself. I have to humble myself, Lenny.
I get that.
Lenny, as you are panning in this stream with Old Man Fremer, can I just get like a straight up investigative mystery roll?
Sure. Wow, I got a 12.
Panning through this river, sift through rock after rock, shovel of mud after shovel of mud, before moving a rather large stone to try to get a new little spot that you haven't really been able to sift through. When you do, little guppies come out from below. Although these guppies don't look like normal tadpoles you've ever seen before. These ones slither up and begin nibbling a little bit at your fingers. It doesn't hurt. It's very playful almost.
Do they strike me as the same feeling or like vibe as the scorpions?
Splashing your hand through the water a little bit as they play, the mud begins to wash off. And you see these are small little tadpoles made of silver.
They're made of silver.
They are made of that same metallic, liquidy silver.
Can I tell where they're coming from?
You see many small holes under where that rock was moved. It seems like they came from below the stream.
I'm going to take a few pictures of them with my phone. I'm going to take my pan and smash the shit out of them.
Roll to kick some ass.
8.
You begin hammering away at these tadpoles. One by one, you're crushing as many as you can. But as your hand dips below the water one more time, one of them jumps up onto your wrist and begins burrowing its way into your skin.
What?
Lenny, you good?
No,
what's going on, Lenny?
I gotta, it's the aliens, Mr. Fremer. I gotta go. I found some stuff.
And Lenny just throws the money they quote unquote found towards Mr. Fremer and books it to the hotel.
As you're running away, all you hear is the aliens, they're here, and you hear gunshots firing off into the stream before hearing the prospector running upstream, just like, you won't get me this time. You can't take me.
Lenny's glad. I'm glad. He does need to run away.
I was really hoping that Lenny was just gonna find straight up gold.
Right? 16-year-old rich kid? What? Lenny wouldn't know what to do with himself.
No, they really wouldn't.
Lenny, where are you headed?
The hotel.
And as Lenny begins running to the hotel, Trisha, what are you doing right now?
Yeah. So, when she's not working, which is all the time at the coffee shop, she is probably in the park down by the lake, just staring off into space, and nobody knows why.
God, we got a weird bunch, don't we?
Y'all are something. Trisha, this park always been a comfort spot. Always a nice place to go, chill, stare off into the distance, and make people sometimes feel uncomfortable with your deadpan expression.
Yeah. She's soulless, remember? No soul.
And as of recent, this kind of like safe haven that you've had before has also become a spot of battle for you, having recently fought off some very large scorpions in here. What are you planning to do with your day?
Really, she just doesn't. She likes to creep people out. That's her hobby. So she'll just be staring at people.
And stare at people you do. A lot of new faces are coming in today. A lot of new faces. It seems like the tourist traffic has been driven up considerably. So not only is the hotel that you're used to hanging around with all these alien hunters, now more are even being booked up. You see some of the old abandoned buildings are being looked over by newcomers to town. A lot of prissy types coming from Southern California, people coming in from Texas. A lot of new faces are making their way into town.
And Trisha makes it a point to know each and every one of them because that is her thing. So she will read all of their minds.
One by one, as you begin taking time to use your telepathy on the various newcomers to town, a lot of the traffic is just buzz about aliens and aliens and aliens, new sightings, true footage, things like that been popping up all over, and a lot of talk about Reddit posts and them talking about aliens being real and the extraterrestrials have made their home here in Penshaw.
Yeah, she'll take note of the Reddit posts to ask Lenny about later. Because maybe Lenny will know what Reddit is. And she almost chuckles at the fact that all of these people are like, ooh, aliens are real. Oh my gosh. Like, whatever. And just continued to figure out who people are. Because if they come into the coffee shop, she better know who they are. So she can tell them to get the F out.
As you stay planted in your seat, reading over the people that you see passing by, while focusing on one set of tourists, you don't notice, but a man in a nice pressed black suit, silver hair, with some very thick framed glasses comes and sits next to you.
She just turns her head. Is this person on the right or the left?
The right.
She just turns her head to the right and just stares, like kind of like some Shining action here. Doesn't say a word, just stares.
Sorry, was this seat taken?
Continues to stare.
Well, if we're going to be sitting here, I might as well introduce myself. My name is Eugene Harcourt. It's a pleasure to meet you. And you are?
Eugene's a weird name.
Not the only person I know in my line of work that has the name, but I try to wear it as a badge of honor.
She's just gonna stare at him. Like...
You strike me as the type that likes to read people, to know people, but not have them know much about you. Guarded.
I don't like people.
That's why you work in customer service, though, correct? Trisha? Yes, isn't it?
And she'll like cock her head to one side, which is probably about the most movement you'll get out of her, and she'll just stare.
You have a very interesting lack of history, at least as far as most people know. Digging a little deeper, people can find what they need to find. So what is it that really keeps you here?
Silence.
So you just really like making coffee then? Well, it's always nice to meet the locals and those that could really show people something around here. I look forward to seeing you again, he says as he stands up, fixes his coat before reaching into one of his coat pockets and setting a card down on the bench next to you. Have a good day, before walking towards the lake.
I will go back to staring straight ahead of myself.
And you resume your daily staring. As we jump to Chuck. Chuck, what you doing?
I think Chuck spends most of his days away from the shop trying to think of ways to bring in more business. So circling back to the plan that got kind of fucked up the other night by giant scorpions making themselves known in town. Chuck's hanging out with Jack over at the hotel, and we're getting ready to head on over to that blowout sale at Best Buy. hoping to pick up a drone to maybe draw on some more tourists. Pair it with that Reddit post I put up a couple weeks ago.
Jack's just squaring away a duffel bag full of things. Just a just-in-case bag, you know? Like, if it needs to go, it needs to go. And he looks over at you and goes, okay, Chuck, I understand this drone is totally for your business drawing and things like that, but maybe we could try not to blow it up or completely destroy it, and maybe we can actually use this as like a tool to keep us alive out there.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's got the potential to be both for drawing business and also, you know, we could use it as a lookout. Woody could use it to gather some information for the Penshaw Paranormal or something.
I despise drones. I think they're a quick way to get traced and murdered, but thank you for the thought, Chuck.
I'm just trying to help. I kind of want to make my name known through the show a little bit too. You know, if you want to throw in a little ad spot, that'd be huge.
Chuck, this podcast is not about revenue, it is about the truth.
Well, yeah, and the truth is I make some pretty damn good jerky, so I think it fits your narrative a little bit.
Debatable, but I'll consider it.
Woody, have you even tried my jerky?
Yes, if you didn't realize, having a podcast about exposing the paranormal has not exactly been the most lucrative business venture, so many a nights I have had to sit here and eat nothing but your jerky while drinking instant coffee out of a packet.
Well, I appreciate the business.
Your business is from Jack, not from me.
You're eating it, though.
And again, I will continue to swallow my words and allow you to leave my proximity. Thank you, Chuck. Woodrow spins back in his chair and begins looking over more of the research that he has been gathering since the Scorpion incident. One particularly interesting piece of research is something he refers to as his prisoner of war.
Have I heard him talk about that?
He's been keeping this one very close to the chest.
Hey, Woody, what's that bit about over there?
Chuck, I can show you, but the problem I have with showing you is the same problem I have with having as many people in this building as we do currently, and that is, you like to talk, Chuck.
Oh, hey, your secret's safe with me, but if it's something that can help us out there, you know, save the town and I don't know, shit, save the world. We don't know how big and bad these aliens are. Have you ever watched any of the movies about aliens? They get fucking big. And 9 times out of 10, they destroy this part of the continental United States.
Roll to manipulate someone.
I don't think I'm very good at that, but let's give it a go. Well, funny I say I'm not good at that. That's a 12.
Woodrow lets out a sigh before allowing you to step over to his desk. On his desk, in a jar, is a sample of the silver liquid. As you approach, it seems to be sitting there much like a normal liquid, just towards the edge of the jar. So, the thing is here, Chuck, is I'm starting to suspect that this may be a little bit more than just a whole colony, if you will. I think this is a hive mind, he says as he takes a lighter and holds it up to the edge of the jar, the liquid moving frantically to get away from the flames. This might be, quite possibly, one entity, not many, just one very large one, that has decided to make Penshaw its home.
Well, when we were fighting the big scorpion thing, I did notice some of the blood, at least that's what I thought it was, would come flying out and go into these cracks in the ground. And then when it finally died, there was like a silver person almost that jumped into the wall. I don't know what that's about, but I guess what we're figuring is that is the thing. rather than it being actual creatures.
Subterranean symbiotic life forms. This could be the break that we need. Yes. Yes. Perfect. I need to make some calls. We need seismic reading. Yes. If we can find out where they come from, we could stop them at the source.
Well, yeah, if their dormant form is that of just a liquid, are there any underground lakes in Penshaw? That you do all the research here, so maybe that's something you found. I don't know. That's just a thought.
I think I need to. Yes, I'm going to make some calls. Let me see what I can pull up, but I do know that there was an old tunnel system underneath the town. This might Chuck, I don't say this often, but that was really good. If you could keep doing that, I think we'll have a beautiful friendship going forward.
Beautiful enough for a guest spot on the podcast?
Don't press your luck. We haven't saved the day yet. Jack looks at the two of you and your egg-headed conversation before shrugging and going to load up the car. All right. You two have fun talking about super secret underground tunnels, and I guess I'll just go buy the drone.
Well, no, I want to come with you, Jack. I was just having a surprisingly pleasant conversation, but I'm coming.
Yeah, those are few and far in between, so don't get too used to it.
And I'll follow after Jack.
And now we'll jump to our final hunter, Mason. What you up to?
I am probably at the hotel, laying down, recovering from the combat session from last time because I got beat up a little bit. And I'm just kind of laying in bed, looking up at the ceiling, just kind of taken over by the sheer physical stress and then also the social stress, the emotional stress. I don't know what's going on.
You lay awake staring at the ceiling, just kind of feeling the achiness of your wounds before you hear a knock at the door.
I roll over and walk slowly to the door, and I peek through the little hole to see who's on the outside.
You see a battered and bruised shell on crutches outside your door.
I unlock the door and open it and say, oh, hi, how's it going?
Well, I'm back on my, I guess, feet, sort of. So, I'm doing good. How are you doing? You, holding up all right?
Yeah, I'm also on my feet, which is also good. Yeah, handling everything, I guess. What can I do for you?
I was just coming in to check on you, but, I see you have a chair in there, and it would be fantastic if I could sit down. So, let's skip to that part of the conversation where you invite me in.
Yeah. Would you like to come in?
Yeah. Yes. She says as she makes her way into the room on her crutches before plopping down. Her right leg is in a pretty significantly large brace, while her left leg seems to be more just stitched up and put back together. So, I mean, you've been moping around here. I mean, near-death situations are kind of part of the job. But have you really kind of processed what happened?
Wait, I don't really know what more to process there is other than the fact that we got stampeded by scorpions and almost died.
I mean, how you feel. I've never been in a situation where I nearly died and felt super awesome afterwards. And I just need to make sure you're 100% before this brace comes off and I'm back out there with you.
This is all just a lot, believe it or not. I came out to Arizona trying to find my sister and somehow wound up in a whole monster, alien, predator. I don't know what the hell is going on.
Yeah, I can relate to that, at least somewhat. I mean, you don't always exactly know where you're going to end up in life, and sometimes you end up in the middle of a giant alien siege on a town.
Are we going with aliens? Is that our official thing here?
how about we go for a drive and you and me talk?
Yeah, my car is still presumably out on the interstate, so do you have a car?
Yeah, we got plenty here. You can drive mine. And she tosses you a set of keys. You guys are making your way out of the lobby, which is completely packed. Donnie is behind the front desk. He's sorting through papers, passing out keys. Thank you. Have a great day. Whoop whoop. Thank you. Have a great day. Whoop whoop. Room 403. Yes, the continental breakfast is included.
Wait, does Donnie work here?
We all work here. Basically, I run general maintenance, so I don't have to do these things. And Donnie may be more qualified for the job, but I did tell him I'd shove a shotgun up his ass if he tried to take it from me, so he was more than compliant.
So, how did you get your background then with guns and everything? Were you part of like a high scale military ops like the Coast Guard or something?
Marines mostly. Did a couple tours over, and when I came back, I thought I was out, but like I said, we should have that conversation in private.
Okay. Yeah. I've never been on vacation before, but that sounds like fun.
Yeah, let's roll out. And you see Chuck and Jack make their way up into the lobby as you guys are about to leave.
Hey fam, how's it going? Woo woo.
As you say that, Donnie perks up behind the desk, drops everything he's doing. He's like, whoop whoop.
Yeah. Whoop whoop fam dog. What are you guys doing in this his house?
Chuck wants to go buy a drone, so we're gonna go buy a drone.
I've never had a drone before, but I had those little insect things that vibrated on the table when I was younger, so hope you have fun.
Yep, gonna have a great old time. I really hope I need this go bag today. Making your way out through the front doors, you see as Chuck and Jack make their way over to the extra taste terrestrial van, and hitting the unlock button, you see a very nice Hellcat on the other side of the parking lot, parked a couple spaces over. Somebody definitely gets paid a little bit more around here, and her name is Shell.
Wait, am I driving that?
Yeah, as long as you don't fishtail us into a light pole or scratch my rims or dent my car, I don't think we'll have too much of a problem.
Shell, I have a question.
Yeah.
I've heard people talk about driving before, obviously, because I can drive. But I don't know what it actually means to fishtail. What does it mean to fishtail?
You go too fast and the back end of the car slides out and you lose control.
That's when you do the turn right to go left, right?
Just because this is a small town in the middle of the desert doesn't mean that this is Cars.
That was my favorite movie when I was younger. That was some good stuff. Made me cry.
And now we're if you didn't save my life, this conversation wouldn't be going on this long.
Okay, I'll just shut up. Thanks though.
Mm-hmm.
Learning something new every day.
Yep, and you're about to learn a whole lot more.
Hey here. We've hit 500 followers on Instagram. For everyone following us, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. If you're not following us, head over to @CallusCasters on Instagram to get tidbits and funny moments from upcoming episodes and announcements of what's going on with us. Becca runs our social media stuff, and she's been the only reason we've grown on there. So make her feel good and give us a follow. Thanks.
And we're going to jump back to Lenny. Lenny, you have been making your way back towards the hotel. Clearing through now, getting towards the center of town.
Is the fish still attempting to burrow through my skin?
It is now inside of you.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean, Lenny's gonna head to the parking lot, and the first person they see that is, part of the little team they have, they're gonna go up to them.
Making your way into the hotel, you see Donnie behind the desk, flooded with paperwork, but also sitting at one of the tables, you see Dr. Guzman, sitting playing with her stuffed animals.
I'm gonna yell, "Hi, Donnie," and then just go directly to Dr. Guzman and say, "Doctor, I think I need your help."
Did you have you filed the correct paperwork that you need to file? Have you talked to my secretary? She says as she holds up a little bunny rabbit in your face.
Oh, hi. I don't have an appointment, but I was hoping I could take a walk in.
Yes, of course. As soon as you fill out these paperworks, and she hands you an imaginary clipboard.
Lenny fully takes the clipboard.
Oh, do you have a pen?
Yes, of course.
Thanks.
Hands you an imaginary pen.
And just quickly fake writes some things down on the imaginary clipboard and gives it back.
And here you marked you have no insurance?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, we will be sending you a bill once your treatment has been administered. Please proceed down to the doctor's office. She says as she tosses the secretary onto the couch and walks downstairs with you. As she makes her way down, there's like a coat rack coming into the main room. And she like throws her doctor's coat on and like runs hurriedly over to the room, opens the door and shuts it real fast, and then comes out like 5 seconds later, clipboard in hand, and she says, "All right, and Lenny, Millennia?
Yeah. Hey.
Oh, hi. Yes, come quickly. So what is it that brings you in here today?"
I have like an alien fish inside of me.
Ooh, an alien fish, you say? Come sit down on the bench. Let me take a look at that.
Okay.
As you sit down, she begins going through the drawers and pulling out various actual surgical instruments, scalpels, forceps, gloves, everything. And she starts washing her hands. And she's like, "So how long ago would you say that this entered your body?"
I'd say like 20 minutes.
Oh, 20 minutes. Okay. And do you think it has had time to lay any eggs or potentially enroot itself in your bone marrow or make its way up your brainstem and now you're being controlled and I don't know if I can trust you?
Oh, I mean, I don't think the last one, but I don't know about the other ones.
Oh, okay. Perfect. Then this should be quick. She says as she grabs the arm that has the puncture wound in it and just cuts your arm open.
Oh my God.
That's the wrong arm.
Yeah, right.
Ow. Okay. That gotta hurt.
Oh, did you want anesthesia? That will drive up your bill quite a bit.
No, it's okay then, I guess.
Well, do you want the good news first or the bad news?
Good.
Well, I think I found your friend. She takes out a pair of very long tweezers and pulls up the alien liquid that is now curled up in a ball. No longer this metallic silver, it is black.
I mean, it was silver before, but I guess that's probably it.
Well, the bad news was there was one definitely in you. The good news is it seems it died.
Okay.
All right. Well, if you don't mind, I would like to donate this to our research fund on these creatures. Is that okay with you?
Yeah.
Oh, perfect. She says as she starts stitching up your arm and then goes over to another one of the drawers and she like tosses gauze to the side and she says, "Would you like Scooby-Doo, Hello Kitty? I also do have birthday cake." And she holds up packs of bandages.
Oh man. How many am I gonna get? Can I get one of each?
Oh yeah, there's that is a very large incision on your arm. I definitely should have like probably done some readings beforehand, but I kind of just went for it.
Yeah.
All right. She takes the time to apply bandages step by step down this cut that goes basically the length of your forearm.
Jeez.
All right, and that will be $12,000. Would you like to pay cash, card?
Can I pay it in services?
This whole monster hunting thing doesn't really like serve me too well, but I could use somebody to do runs for me and get me snacks.
Yeah, okay. I have like the perfect place.
Awesome. So here's your first list, and it's hot Cheetos, hot Funyuns, Takis, and three mega large coffees from Bucks from Beyond.
Hey, aren't you kind of young to have, you know what? You're your own woman.
And Lenny Lenny walks out of the office ready to get some caffeine that a child should not have.
Lenny, you head out on your run to go pay off your $12,000 debt. Trisha, what are you up to right now?
So, exactly 15 minutes and 1 second after Eugene left, Trisha will message everybody to say, weirdo named Eugene poking around town. And that's it. And then she'll get up and go to the coffee shop.
You head to the coffee shop. The one other person that works there doing his opening shift is finishing up cleaning a few of the spots left by rambunctious children. As you step in, you would recognize this as William. Oh, hey Trish. Sorry, I didn't mean to have a mess when you came in. I know it's very inconvenient and I apologize.
She just looks at him, looks at the floor. He goes, ugh, kids, and walks to the back.
Making your way into the back, it's a lot of jars of coffee beans and walk-in freezer full of whipped cream and other additives that you add to your coffees. Before tying on your apron and making your way back out, William finishes up with the mop before going, is there anything else you want me to do before?
Get out.
Okay. He ties off his apron, puts it on the hook, and he like rushes out the door really fast before rushing back in. He's like, oh, forgot to stamp my time card. Sorry. He goes over, and it's like one of the old manual ones, and he goes and punches in and then runs out again.
She just deadpan stares him the whole time. And then once he leaves, she'll start like her shift.
Your shift starts as many do, serving various tourists sugary drinks and hoping that they all leave in a very punctual manner before a familiar face steps in. It's Lenny.
Hi, Trisha.
Hi, Lenny.
Hey, do you have any, like...
And they look at the list for a second, look up back at you, start to talk, look back at the list.
Hot Cheetos. Funyuns. Oh, sorry, hot Funyuns. Takis. And also I need 3, of the mega pints of coffee.
Dr. Hard at work again, huh? Because she knows exactly who would order this.
Yeah, I owe her $12,000, so...
What?
Lenny holds up their arm that's, kind of mangled, and
It says, I had an alien inside of me.
Did you tell Jack?
No, I figured I'd take care of my bill first.
Trisha, for once, is too stunned to speak. And she gathers everything, kicks all of the people out of the coffee shop, and takes Lenny and closes and locks the door and heads over to the hotel.
As you guys are making your way out, there's a couple making their way up. Larger, well-built, athletic male, bald head, beard, dressed up very touristy, and a 24-year-old woman dressed very much like they're both actually dressed very much like tourists, fanny packs, everything like that. And as you're going to lock up the door, he says, oh, whoa, you got time for one more cup of coffee?
Go away. Soullessly glares at him, locks the door, and walks away.
There's another coffee shop down the street. It's not as good, but like it's coffee.
That's strange because this is the one I decided I wanted to have a cup at.
It's closed.
The woman next to him unzips her bag and shows you the handle of a pistol and says, I think you can make an exception.
Trisha pulls out her pistol and goes, ooh.
Sorry.
Mine's bigger.
And goes, ooh, I have one too. Am I supposed to be scared?
The man cracks his knuckles and chuckles a bit before letting a very toothy grin show and says, yeah, maybe you should be.
Trisha will immediately aim at his balls. I don't think so. It's closed. You can go now.
Fine. But, I'm gonna remember this one. Have a good day, Trish, they say as they back up and begin making their way back towards the center of town.
Let's go, Lenny.
Okay.
She also made note that they knew her name. As they're walking away, she's going to use her telepathy to read their minds.
She knows. That's all you get.
Okay. I'll hook my arm in Lenny's, which is about the most that she will ever do, and drag them to the hotel and find Jack immediately to tell Jack about Lenny's alien baby in their arm. Also about the fact that this is now 3 strangers that know her name.
We're going to pick up with Chuck and Jack at Best Buy as you guys are perusing the aisles looking for the perfect drone. I don't think it matters too much as long as it flies and has a camera, Chuck. That would be the prime example of what we need in a drone.
But if we get the biggest one, then it'll be more believable that it's a UFO flying over town.
Can't we just have... Lenny seems like he might know how to edit something. Can't we just throw a green ball on it and just have them trace it and boom, UFO? Or, I don't know, what's Mason good at?
He seems pretty social. Yeah, I think he's a good talker.
Hey, maybe if he needs to stick around longer, you got another employee, him and Lenny, they would just drive your business up. Can you pick a damn drone, please?
Yeah, we're getting the biggest fucking drone there is. Come on. The biggest drone. We doctor it up a little bit with some paper mache, make it look like a UFO, and then we snap the photos. Come on.
As you're talking about getting the biggest drone, a young preppy employee comes up to you and she's like, "Hi, were you guys looking for some assistance?"
Yeah, what's the biggest drone that you have?
Whew, I mean, you know, this little bit of a fire sale now that this whole store that I worked so hard to bring up is slowly dying around me. It would probably be the XT4000. It's quite a bit of money, but 4K HD camera, 8 blades. It's top of the line.
We'll take it.
Alrighty. How about you guys give me a second? I will bring this up to the register and we can get all this squared away. I hope you're not doing a payment plan. We're playing in full today, right?
How much is it?
$6,000.
Hey, Jack, that's a little steep.
Yeah, I know. That's why I said, can we just get one that has flying capabilities and a camera? I am sorry, miss. My friend, he speaks a little bit too much before he thinks. So if there's any other models that might...
Oh, let's sit and talk about it for a second. We'll meet you up at the front and we'll have it figured out. Sorry for the delay.
Don't pull anything trying to get it to the front, because I don't think we're buying a $6,000 drone, Chuck.
We're gonna buy it. But yeah, we'll meet you up at the front. Jack, we're gonna steal this.
What?
They're going out of business.
How are we gonna steal a fucking drone?
We have to create a diversion on the other side of the store.
Okay, what's the plan?
I think we might have to blow something up. But if we can avoid that, that would be great. I'm gonna go over to where all of the car stereo shit is, because, you know, every Best Buy has that one corner where they have all of the stereo supplies.
You make your way over to the stereo supplies.
How much is left as far as equipment? Is there a sizable amount to make enough noise?
You can make a good chunk of noise.
I want to turn all of them on.
All right, and what are you going to, I don't know, blast or create to make that noise to distract the populace of this Best Buy?
Call Me Maybe by Carly Rae Jepsen.
Yes.
The hope is to make a big enough distraction that maybe it'll cover up the front door alarm system too that trips when we go through the fucking detector.
Carly Rae Jepsen begins blasting over the sound system.
All right, Jack, we don't have much time.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Let's just do this. Let's see what we can do. And Jack starts making his way over to the front with you. As you see, a group of employees begin making their way back, trying to one by one disconnect the systems.
We're still in that fucking drone.
Jack is very displeased. The same woman that helped you out is at the counter. She looks absolutely stressed, but still having this plastic smile on as you guys make your way up to the register.
Too real.
Did she take the drone up there?
You can see the drone behind the counter as the first beads of anxiety sweat are beginning to trickle down.
I'm gonna walk up to the cashier. All right, look, this place is going out of business. Here's $500 cash. We're taking that drone. You keep that money for you, and you get the fuck out of here and go get a different job. I believe in you.
Roll to manipulate someone. Just roll to manipulate, man.
Am I understanding this correctly, that you created an entire plan to be able to get past her, and then immediately upon seeing her told her your plan?
She stayed. I thought she was gonna go with everybody. That's a 10.
She looks you dead in the eyes before her eyes dart down to the money. She grabs the money and just puts it in her pocket, and she says, I fucking hate this job. Go, shoot the coolest videos you can. Live my dream.
I heard Bucks Beyond's hiring, and I grab the drone and run.
She even takes off the security tag for you, so you're able to make it out the front door with no problem. As you and Jack hop back in the car, we're going to jump over to Mason again. Mason, you are whipping around with Shell. This car's a little bit, it's got a lot of power, but it also has a lot of weapons in it. You can see various stash spots throughout. Even sitting down, she instructed you not to adjust the seat because it was perfect reach for her to grab her holster under the seat.
So, do you have any hobbies? Do you like crochet or knit? Or is killing aliens your passion?
It's become my livelihood, my passion, and the only thing I can really do.
That doesn't sound like a lot of fun.
No, but you get burned one too many times and suddenly you gotta start fighting for the right side.
Yeah, I have to buy a really high SPF sunscreen, but I understand I burn a lot too.
I don't think you're getting what I'm saying. I wanted you to come out on this drive to really help you understand what you're about to get into.
Okay. Yeah, what am I understanding?
Listen, just because you don't hear about it in the main media or anything like that, doesn't mean that we don't have powers that know about these things. There was another town like this, a small one in Montana. You probably never heard of it because the town doesn't really exist anymore.
That'd be a really good reason to not have heard of it before, but yeah.
Jack, his family, his people that he works with, they know and they fight just to keep people safe. But there are people out there that want to control these things, that want to make it their own. And I understand killing aliens is one thing and ripping them up, doing whatever you gotta do, that's different. Those are creatures. But Mason, you may end up on the bad end of a gun. And I need to know you're ready for that.
What are you supposed to do when you're on the bad end of a gun? Because I know like point and click is what you want to do when you're on the good side, but I feel like that doesn't work as well when you're on the bad side.
Run for cover and keep your cool. and hopefully shoot back. But the preferred method is shoot first before they get you.
I don't have a gun. Wait, no, I do. I have the one that requires binoculars. I forgot about that.
Listen, Tallgrass was a mistake, and our government knows it. And I know it, because I was there. These people that are going to be coming for us, I know them. Firsthand, very close up and personal. Went through training with a lot of these guys. They won't hesitate to do what they have to do, Mason. They will put you in the ground, and they will make sure nobody remembers you existed. Are you ready for that?
I mean, I guess I'm as ready for that as I can be. I'm a business major. This is weird.
Good, as long as you're ready enough. Here comes your first test. Have you ever lost a tail?
I don't have a tail.
You do right now, she says, and adjusts your rearview mirror, and you can see a black SUV following behind the car.
Oh, this is like that movie thing.
This is like real life, and I need you to drive now.
Okay, where are we going?
Nowhere until they're not following us.
Okay, well, here, I'll do this. And I put on my blinker and I take the next right.
Did you just signal the way we're going? She says as she reaches under the glove compartment and pulls out the receiver to an assault rifle before reaching behind her seat and beginning to field assemble a rifle next to you. Did you just signal while we're being chased?
Well, two things. First of all, I don't actually know if it's the law or not, but it's like the right thing to do. Second of all, do you think they know we have a tail? Because if they don't know and I start driving differently, I feel like that'd give it away.
I might have underestimated you. Just a tad. Just keep going. We'll see what they do. She says as she begins putting the rifle back, reaching under the seat and tucking a pistol into her coat. A few moments go by, a few turns, before lights in the grille and in the upper windshield of the SUV light up. Red, white, blue, all begin flashing. Driver, pull over the vehicle now.
I turn on my hazards and I start slowing down and I pull over to the side of the road.
Shell very slickly slides the pistol over to you. She says, keep it in your jacket, put it against the door. We're not going to be on our back foot if this goes south.
How would I know if he is a real police officer or not? Because I don't think I've done anything wrong, but also Arizona's weird.
You can roll to read a bad situation.
I was fully expecting Shell to go, we're in Nevada.
I'm in are we in Nevada? I thought we were in Arizona.
No, we're in Nevada.
Nevada. They're interchangeable. It's all good. I think I said Arizona at one session before.
I think you said Arizona in the first session, which is why I immediately gravitated towards Arizona.
Oops. Everybody, continuity police, come after me.
I got an 11.
As this plainclothes officer, quote unquote, steps up to the window, there's a few things that tick boxes for you. You've seen plenty of cops in shows. They usually touch the rear panel of the car. They usually don't just make their way hurriedly without running anything. But this officer steps up to the window and says, How are you guys doing today? Sorry. Do you know why I pulled you over?
When he was on his way there, I rolled down the window and I put both hands on the wheel so he could see that, like, I'm not doing anything. Not really, officer. What was I going too fast? I was trying not to.
Yeah, unfortunately, you ticked just a mile over. And in our town, we really like to keep it safe, especially with all these tourists around, newcomers. So if I could just see your license or registration, that would be great.
Okay. I am 100% down to comply. I know what my license is. What's my registration?
Shell reaches cautiously towards the glove box. Her face, this is one of the first times you've seen her a little bit shaken.
Is that oh, it's the insurance. Okay, well, my license in my jacket pocket. I'm going to grab it. I just slowly open up my jacket a little bit, and then I grab the pistol and fire through my jacket at the officer.
Roll to kick some ass.
That's a 7. I'm gonna use a luck on that.
Go for it. You reach into the jacket, firing through the jacket. You see as the bullet clips into the neck of this officer. He holds pressure on it, reaching for his gun with his offhand, beginning to spiral back towards the back of the car, going for cover behind the rear quarter panel.
I throw it in reverse and I turn the wheel hard to the right so that the car will whip backwards and hit him.
Oh my God.
Roll to act under pressure this time.
Ew, that's even worse. That's gonna be a 6.
Unfortunately, you hit the gas a little hard before you spin the wheel and slam back, not fully getting the rotation you would need to run the officer over, but you do hit the SUV, causing a dent. What do you do?
I just freeze for a second. I look over at Shell.
Shell is drawing the AR out from the back of the car and begins lighting fire, and she says, "We need to go. Now. Drive, Mason!"
I put the car back into drive and I speed off. If I have the ability to hit the police officer on the way, or the would-be police officer, I take the opportunity.
Roll once more to act under pressure.
It's gonna be an 8.
I'm gonna give you a worse outcome. You speed back and you're able to clip the officer's leg. As you do, you can see his right leg is being twisted up in the wheel well. While laying in this prone position, he fires 2, 3, 4 shots through, one of them piercing through the back door of the car, passing through your shoulder. You take 1 point of harm.
Was it the back or front wheel that got caught in?
He is caught in your back left wheel. His right leg is being twisted up in it.
Okay. I'm going to swerve to the right side of the road a little bit to kind of go into or off the road and into the shoulder a little bit. So that way he should be dragging so his body flails out, and then swerve back to the left.
You whip his body down the road, and as you begin gunning it down the street, you see as no normal person would have been able to take the abuse that you just unleashed on his body. But as you're walking away, he resets his leg and stands up.
Wait, this is like that Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. Oh shit! No, this is like the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. What? Okay, sorry.
These are not Terminators. Mason, just get us home. We have a fucking problem.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I kind of got the car scraped up a little bit. I'm sorry.
No, you did really good, Mason. You did a fantastic job, and if you keep doing what you're doing, you have a long career ahead of you of being a badass. But we have to survive to do that.
I kind of quickly look over at Shell and then eyes back on the road, hands at 10 and 2, just a huge smile across my face.
And with that, we will pick up back at the hotel. One by one, you all arrive. First, Trisha and Lenny making their way downstairs. Then Chuck and Jack, and then Mason and Shell. You guys all make your way down into the underground. Mason and Shell, by the time you arrive, everybody's kind of in there doing their own thing. Shell, exasperated, says, "We have a massive fucking problem."
Oh yeah, me too.
Okay. Anybody else have bad news? Or we want to go in like a circle? A little kumbaya moment? Like what's gonna happen? Huh.
There's some weird people that know my name, and I don't know who they are. One's named Eugene. The other one I almost shot off his balls.
Did you catch Jean's last name?
I don't know. He gave me a card, and she'll hand the card to Shell.
So that's step 1 of being fucked. Step 2, Lenny, what is
Oh yeah, so here's some pictures of what I found over by the train tracks. Also, the aliens like to burrow into people. I don't know what that means, but and they hold up their arm. I had an alien inside of me for a while. Dr. Gooseman took care of it, but like they were just coming out from underground, I guess. I don't know. They were like fish.
Woodrow turns his head. You said it burrowed inside of you.
Uh-huh.
And you're not taken.
No, it like curled up in a ball and died, I guess. I don't know. It was black.
Woodrow takes your arm. Now, Lenny, what I'm gonna do might be alarming. Shell, Jack, the rest of you, if you could please poise your firearms at Lenny, that would be great.
Why would I want to shoot Lenny?
Because you might have to, and because I'm asking you to. So if you could just please humor me.
I just do whatever Shell does. If she raises her firearm, I'll do it.
Oh, she was quick. As soon as she was asked to raise a gun, leaning on one crutch, she's got deadlocked aim. Even Dr. Guzman comes out and she has a pistol in her hand. It's like pink. It's not often that I get to visit a patient twice in one day, but oh my God, I look forward to your medical bills.
Yeah, we're not shooting the kid.
Trisha hasn't raised her gun at all. She will not shoot Lenny.
Now, Lenny, I need you to take a deep breath. He opens the jar and places it up against your wound. As he does, the little mass of silvery liquid begins digging into your arms, protruding barbs out as it seems to be like nesting in before the barbs stop. You're unfazed.
Yeah, I guess that's like kind of what happened to the fish too.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think we found our first immune person.
Trisha will look over at Dr. Guzman and go, that bill goes to Woodrow.
She looks over at Woodrow. I hear you have a very lucrative podcast business. The bill will be $400,000. Thank you. In due time, Doctor, I will be able to pay that bill, especially once this whole town owes us because we're going to save all of their lives. Lenny?
Yeah?
I think you've given us hope.
Sick.
It's very sick indeed. Shell eases up and lowers her pistol as the rest of the room begins to take ease. Okay, so we have immune, some random person that might be keeping tabs on the rest of us, and Shell raises her hand. It's not just anybody. Jack P is here, which means whatever's going on is the real deal. And whatever that is, there's a large source of it. Penshaw isn't our hunting ground anymore. Penshaw's a fucking war zone. And as that is uttered, we shall pan away from our group of hunters circled around this table and to a hill. Outside of the hotel sits 5 figures. So, you think they're gonna be a problem, sir? No, Chris. I don't think they're going to be a problem. I think they're gonna help us do exactly what we need them to do. Call to the main forces. We have enough of a sample pool in here. No one gets in or out of Penshaw until I say so. We're gonna find that nexus, and we're gonna build an army.
Penshaw was GM'd by Kyle Conston, starring Tyler Halcomb as Chuck Montague, Becca Ramirez as Trisha, Chris Lebert as Mason Monroe, and Kay Wilson as Lenny Baster. Music by Tyler Halcomb and edited by Chris Lebert. If you like what you're hearing, make sure to check us out on Twitch and YouTube and follow us on Instagram at CallUsCasters. Also, consider supporting us on Patreon at patreon.com/CallUsCasters.